just to chat about the crossbody bag with the flap and the zip placket, or you can do just the flap or just the zip placket. It's up to you. But once you've drawn out the rectangular pieces for the flap and the main body, I'll just show you now how to mark those curves onto it. So if you're doing the flap, it's fairly simple because I just found something that had a 12 centimeter radius to draw around. You could always use a compass and work like that, or you might find sort of a small bowl that's about 12 centimeters, and all we're then doing with that is just get something circular. Yeah, this is a bit smaller, but just to show you on a what you're aiming to do is then line that up, your 12 centimeter piece, on the edge of your pattern and just draw that curve there to and then that gets snipped off on both sides. To make it easier, you can fold your pattern piece in half and cut it through so it's exactly symmetrical. The other way to get a 12 centimeter, like I said, diameter circle, if you haven't got a compass or something that is that shape anyway, is if you, so the 12 centimeter diameter of a circle is the 6 centimeter radius. So if you just mark the 6 centimeter point, so in from the side and up from the bottom there, that's my middle point of a 12 centimeter circle. What I have got people to do before, so you can see there I drew round something that was the 12 centimeters, but because the rest of the circle that we're actually going to draw isn't really needed, we're just getting this little curve in the corner there really to get that shape. So what I would do is onto the rectangle of the flap there. So just double check again, that's my, we don't need that one. What you can do is if you just measure out from that point at various different points, 6 centimeters, it's quite an old-fashioned way of doing it, but it does work, is lots of different points where I've done 6 centimeters marked. What you can then do is gradually join those dots together and create your own curve. So I know that really I'm creating an even, if I look, if I draw them out, you might be able to see. So joining those points up, and I've managed to pretty much draw my own curve in if I haven't got a compass to do it with, or something that is 12 centimeters diameter. So for your flap, that's all you need to get. That's the only mark. And what you can then do, like I said, fold it in half and cut that curve away and put it to the side. Again, a lot of people have made the bag before where they've just drawn the pattern straight onto the back of fabric, so you won't have a pattern piece as such, but all you need to do is just draw this curve on a small piece of paper, cut it out, and then just lay this curve onto your piece of fabric and just cut away the curve straight through the fabric. Just pin that on as a pattern piece with the curve removed. Just before I do that, I'll show you that for the actual bag piece where we have the curve and the darts, so it's not just the curve on the flap, but it's the curve and the darts on the actual main body part of the bag, which is 2 of these for your outer and 2 for your lining. So again, we create that curve on the bottom for the pattern piece, and then what I did was, to create the dart, I measured 4 centimeters in from the edge, 4 centimeters up. This is sort of, you can leave off cutting the curve to start with. So again, like I said, 4 centimeters in, 4 centimeters up, and that is going to be the point of our dart. And now what we do is do 2.5 centimeters in, And so I'll mark it up to that point of the curve there, and then 2.5 centimeters up. And then these are the outside points of our dart. So if I join those up like this, that's the dart in my pattern. So what I'm actually going to cut out is, like I said, for the flap, I'm just cutting out this one curve, but the extra step for the bag to create that dart is I now cut this bit away from my fabric. So the point of the dart was 4 centimeters in, 4 centimeters up, and then the outside 2 points of my dart were 2.5 centimeters. So on the handout it talks about those measurements, and then so that it's the same on both sides, just fold your pattern piece in half and mirror image it. So again, if you have already cut your fabric, you can just, and not got a pattern piece, you can just make a sort of a mini pattern piece. So just sort of cut out your piece of paper, and then what I can do is lay it on the rectangle I've already cut out here on the two bottom corners of your pattern, pin it in place, and all I'm doing is shaving off this curve and this dart on the bottom of my two outers, my two linings. And then for your flap, you can do it, but just remember with your flap, you're not cutting out the dart, you'll just cut away that curve. So hopefully that's not too complicated. We can always talk through it as well when you're making it to go over again.